Smokies Park for AA Tennessee's game against West 10. We'll have a silent auction and a raffle. All the proceeds will benefit Project 3000, which was started by Derrek Lee in the fight against Labor's congenital amaurosis. Michael Barrett makes contributions for every home run he hits. Ryan Dempster for every save he notches. Oh, Derrek got hit by a pitch. Might have been the wrist area, as he'll take first base. Conversation now between Everett and the catcher Bowen, and Bud Black's going to come out. Lou Piniella a few steps out. Derrek Lee having a conversation with Chris Young. Oh no, here we go. Derrek Lee and Chris Young. And now Lou Piniella getting in the middle here, trying to keep the peace. Oh man. We got a big pileup. Now everybody's out. Both bullpens have emptied, and some chaos behind home plate. Carlos Zambrano got in the middle of it. Mike Quaddy has him. He lost his belt, and boy, this could get really ugly. Bob, I don't know how many, if any, punches landed, but there were some vicious ones thrown by Chris Young and Derrek Lee.
Boy, needless to say, very out of character for both of those guys. Normally very low-key, very competitive, but very low-key. Derrek Lee took exception to that ball being thrown up near his head. Not sure what was said as Derrek started down the first baseline. I'm not sure where in the heck Mike Everett was. Home plate umpire's job when something like that happens is to try to get out there between the two guys and not let it get to the point of physical contact. Yeah, you're right. There were some wild haymakers being thrown there for a few minutes. We'll get another look at this pitch. This is a guy that rarely walks a hitter. There's one right up underneath the chin of Derrek Lee. Derrek trying to compose himself as he gets his helmet and gets ready to head down to first base.
I'll tell you one thing right now. And I know we're doing the Cubs broadcast, but I give Marcus Giles a lot of credit. Instead of going after one of the Cubs, he tried to tackle his own pitcher. You saw Lou Piniella doing the same thing, trying to stay in between Derrek Lee and the Padres. And unfortunately, it did not escalate much after that, although there was a big pile. And, you know, once you have 10, 12 bodies out there, it's really hard to tell what's going on. And this is going to take a while to sort out. We'll clearly have some ejections. I've never seen Derrek that upset.
Well, the thing you worry about, Len, and I've been involved in a lot of those situations throughout the course of my playing career, is once you do get caught down on the bottom of that pile, it's not unusual to get spiked, to get cleated, get scratched. You definitely need peacemakers, and you're right about Marcus Giles trying to get his own pitcher out there. Lou Piniella trying to get between Derrek Lee and anybody else out there, just trying to stop the craziness before it got carried away.
And the Cubs will face some more suspensions. There's no doubt about that. Derrek Lee, I'm sure, has been kicked out, and Lou Piniella in the middle here. And yeah, most of them are trying to just separate Lee and Young.
Yeah, Lou
ended up down,
tripped up. Yeah, fell over the pile there, ended up on his back. Well, Jerry Davis, the crew chief, trying to sort it all out. He'll go talk to Padres manager Bud Black and let him know exactly what's going on as far as ejections or warnings at this point. But Chris Young is still out there on the pitcher's mound, at least right now. Bud Black with his hat off, trying to plead his case.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, let's just get down to the bottom line. When your ace pitcher says, I would drill the next guy in the ribs, and it's in the paper, you've set up a situation where your next starter, if he hits somebody, and he hit the star player in an area where he broke his wrist last year, this is going to happen. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. And it was kind of surprising, and we weren't told that there were any warnings issued before the ball game today. But when people publicly say to the print media, you know, what they plan to do if something like that happens again, you know there's going to be a carryover value. It's not unusual to see a pregame warning when things have been said in the paper.
I mean, we can debate the merits of what Soriano did and what he didn't do, but Jake Peavy said, essentially, if I'm on the mound right there, if he shows me up like that, I like the next guy to take one in the stinking ribs. We talked about it in the open. We waited until the fourth inning. We don't know at Chris Young if he had any intent at all, but the Cubs' best player got hit up and in. And Chris Young is done. I mean, Ted Lilly got ejected in the first inning after 10 pitches in Atlanta, and there was no debate. So what's the debate here? And the umpire's making that decision, and Bud Black is not happy.
Well, and of course, moving forward at some point in this ball game, I'm sure warnings have been issued now. And you know, if a pitch gets away from somebody inside, you never know what might happen from this point on. There could be more ejections, more suspensions, and because of some of the bad blood and some of the hot tempers I saw out there on the field, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't clear them again in this ball game.
Carlos Zambrano is fired up in the dugout. By the way, there are no hits in this ball game. Two walks by Young and a hit batter. Carlos has walked one. And we're going to see a left-hander, Justin Hampson, who will get as much time as he needs. What it comes down to is if you're going to drill somebody, the consequences are there may be a fight and a few ejections, and that's exactly what happened. Now, the unfortunate thing from the Cubs' perspective is they're going to lose Derrek Lee for a while, and already without Ramirez on the disabled list.
Unfortunately, it's tough to defend what Derrek Lee did. I mean, you know, certainly you can understand his being upset at that pitch in the area where it was.
I hope he's okay, by the way.
Very near the head. Might have caught him on the back of that left wrist. And as I said, you can understand being upset. These are very competitive guys, and that head area is a no-no. Words were exchanged, and you know, right there, once Derrek stopped, that's where he's going to be held to blame. Barrett also in the middle there, trying to keep Derrek Lee from any further contact with any of the Padres there. A lot of peacemakers. And I'll tell you, Len, in those bench clearers like that, the thing you have to be careful for are the Johnny-come-latelys. The guys square off, they grab each other like hockey players, trying to keep other players out of the fight. But every now and then you'll get a cheap shot artist that'll come in late, throwing haymakers from behind, and that's why the bench is clear. People say, well, why does everybody run out there? It looks so stupid. They're all out there dancing around. What happens is you want to protect your teammates who are vulnerable, guys that are locked up with somebody from the other team. They can't see what's coming from behind them. And that's why the bench is clear more than any other reason, is to make sure those cheap shot artists that get in there late don't do any damage.
Somebody lost their sunglasses, and Jock Jones and Padres first base coach Bobby Meacham trying to sort that out. Well, now Bud Black wants another explanation. Now, we've been through this before, so they'll review the tape. We still are waiting to hear who's been ejected. Derrek obviously has. Cesar Torres is going to pinch run. And I think we'll see DeRosa probably go over and play first base. Today's Saturday. I guess it's possible tomorrow, maybe Monday, decisions would be handed down, and assuming Derrek is suspended, he can appeal it. So it's not as if they're going to lose him this week, but at some point they will be without their first baseman.
Yeah, see, this is what I don't understand, where the home plate umpire was at this point.
You know what? He was talking to Rob Bowen. Looked like they were having a heated discussion at the plate. You're right. Somebody's got to be out there between those two guys before it ever starts.
I mean, Everett does get there late and push Derrek Lee out of the fray, but by that point the damage had already been done. Once those two guys square up, even before a pitch was thrown, or rather a punch was thrown, once they squared up there face to face, you knew something bad was going to happen. The benches started to clear, and only then did the home plate umpire get involved.
So to this point, we know for sure that Chris Young and Derrek Lee have been ejected. And we saw that conversation about, what, 10 times in Atlanta?
Down in Atlanta.
Grounds crew is picking up some debris out on the warning track, and there's a little slip on the way out by one of the members. Well, we ready to get back to baseball?
Derrek grabbed his helmet, started walking down the first baseline, and there's the home plate umpire. I don't know what he's talking to Rob Bowen about, but you've got to anticipate that there could be some possible bad blood right there. A pitch thrown up near the head. You got the pitcher standing out in front of the mound. The guy who was just drilled walking down the first baseline. You can see Marcus Giles streaking in from the back of your picture there, trying to get there quickly enough to break it up.